which is the FIFA World Cup back in 1998, with one of the strongest squads of 11 you can ever find in football history as well. 2 years later, he won Euro 2000. Several years on, he's had to work as a pundit, and that is something that really takes his time in recent times, for the same tournament that he won in the year 2000. During the latter part of his career as well, he tasted football in the Gulf, and that is something we'll be talking about, especially considering that the current captain of the Black Stars, Andre Ayew, finds himself in the Gulf playing his football. So he played for Al Gharafa and Qatar SC. Please also do remember that among the many accolades, he also won the FIFA Confederations Cup in 2001 and in 2003. This is a man who's now retired to a lot of business and a lot of family time as well. And his time, I'm sure, is booked for the next 4 years. We're going to go into all of that. Well, away from all of that as well, he has lended his brand and his image to the social cause and to give back to society. And he's currently a member of the Laureus Academy, an Orphan Aid Africa, and a lifetime ambassador to Ghana and France. And this was since 2005. And you know, away from all of that, he's done something significant in wanting to give back and to develop the talents here in Ghana, which was the establishment of the Lizzie Sports Complex. There's a different story to tell about the Lizzie Sports Complex in recent times, but these are all things that we're going to go into. It's midday. I've spent a lot of time here on the microphone. So it's a good time to just start it all off. This is Time with Marcel Desailly, a legend of the game and a man of Ghanaian skin and a man of many parts here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. Welcome to this big conversation, and remember, it's 055-1111-997. If you are joining us from any other part of the world, remember to prefix with +233. So +233 55-1111-997. As we spend time with the legendary Marcel Desailly here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and you're welcome to the show. And if you tell me, say make a bello, bello, I don't go waste time, but to do like so, bello, bello, riding the joke, this so, hey, this loving, no be chop and go, hey, not because of you, hey, I get to go strong, all over, this feeling got me falling, all over, get tired of something they do me for body, 99.7 FM. Make we spend this money all over, not because of you, I get to go strong all over, this feeling got me falling all over, get tired of something they do me for body all over, I make we spend this money all over. Joy 99.7. Somebody who likes to have fun a lot, and I'm sure it's music that he identifies with a great deal. All right, so let us just get into the conversation now. Once again, I'm glad to welcome all of you here to the Joy Sports Link. In terms of achievements, this is somebody whose credentials will surely get you to take a second look and a third look, as well as a fourth at him, because obviously he's told a very great story when it comes to football and how one can make major achievements on that field. Of course, he's also going to teach us a lesson about how one can use one's brand to make positive impact in society as well. But the most important thing, and from a very, very, very sentimental point of view, he's a man of Ghanaian skin. And we all do remember that name, Odenke Abbey, right?
Yes, yes.
So I'm sure all of the guys and all of the people who are called Abbey would want to say, oh, I'm related to him in a way. Hey, Monsieur Marcel, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for making it finally.
It's a pleasure, But as soon as you ask me, it's not finally. It's, as soon as you ask me, I've shown up.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so,
true. Yeah. Initially when we were trying to have it, it was the COVID period, and
You see, it's not
yeah,
easy. So
it's not easy. And
living in Ghana make it easy for me now.
I see.
So it's not everyone who knows about that.
Mm.
Having my both parent Ghanaian
Yeah.
is also something that everybody should know.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling well. I'm safe in Ghana, and I'm enjoying working hard, but I'm enjoying.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about your holidaying. Oh my goodness, that's another story to tell. But let's begin from here. Everybody's been interested in your footprints here. And so everybody was excited when you set up the Lizzie Sports Complex. I was just having a chat with a friend of mine a few days ago, and he was telling me about how, your AstroTurf pitch there, the AstroTurf pitches that you put up there were amongst the first that we had in the country at the time. And, it made a lot of impact. Young people became very interested in the programs, for training, training young boys to get into football and all of that.
Yes.
What's been happening?
When I was a soccer player, I had already the idea and the vision to come back in Ghana and settle and develop sport infrastructure. I know it was a little bit poor, especially on football, where it's I have to promote football. I love other sports, like we promote, basketball, swimming. So I said, no, I have to start first on buying land. So at the time, my mother was clever enough to make the money that I was giving her effective, on ground. This is not something easy, Most of the time, everybody
you give the money out, and
it never. So it has happened, and she has, given me quite a lot of assets. Here in Accra, in East Legon, in cantonments, and I said no, I have to give back to the community, and I luckily, I've been a little bit educated, so I'm well structured in how I do my things, and I straight away decided to put up in this sort. It's more than academy, I took the model that we have in Europe to bring it back inside the system of Ghana. And I've created Lizzie Sports Complex. Lizzie Sports Complex is the name of my mother, Elizabeth Adi Desailly. So it was a real opportunity for me to bring my expertise and give back to the country through this Lizzie Sports.
Now, we do realize that you've changed the structure a little bit. You have, you've changed the structure. Basically, we can't see the football pitches anymore. Half of it is gone.
Yes. So we've been developing and train quite a lot of disadvantaged kids, middle class kids also, and high class were coming on site. So lots of traffic. All the schools who are not having any sports infrastructure have been able to use our pool and all the facility. We have the gym, we have the spa, and you have the clinic. I really wanted something to be very close to sport, leisure, and entertainment.
Great.
And the medical also is inside. So it's a full combined complex that I've created. So over the years it's been hard because management in Ghana, you have to be on everyday basis on site to deliver and control to make sure everything, the service is delivered correctly. So yes, I'm happy about my team who over the past 10 years we've been giving a service which the private sector, other private sector should also come into it. When I say private sector, is individual big businessman, sportsman eventually to come and also give back to the society and use sport. Sports is a tools to redirect the kids, help them, everything in sport is the discipline, the leadership, creativity, and also and so. So I'm proud of my team.
Don't you get people ask you about continuing that program and going ahead with running a place like that?
Okay.
Because I've had loads of people ask me today. For instance, somebody says, "Oh, my son, and I want my son to go play football. He's of this age, and I want a place where he can go and be playing football." And
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's why, first of all, I created in 2008 this lazy sport. Like I said, no sport infrastructure. But after 10, 11 years, I was a little bit tired.
Okay.
I've put aside quite a lot of things to make myself available, to make sure the service that we were giving was really at the level. I've missed the chance to be the Ghana coach. I know you're going to talk about it, because also I was having this investment, this asset that I was I have to follow and see how things were going on. It's finished.
You're done.
I'm
You're done with it.
I'm done with it. Yes.
No matter how much, no matter how much demand comes for it, you're
It's
done.
finished. It's finished. I've done it 10 years. It's not something that is profitable. So
Why?
it's-
Because I mean, we see numbers there. We see people playing.
you see
football.
the traffic, you see the event. Also, we've been
Yeah.
very useful for event.
Yeah.
But when you want something to last, you need to bring expertise. You need to hire people. We're like 90 people, at the Lizzie Sports. I'm not talking about the estate department. I'm talking about the sports department.
yeah.
Yes. So it was not profitable. Every year I was, putting back
So
my
you were
private money inside the system. When you talk about the sports department only, I'm not talking about the apartments and
Okay.
the commercial spaces, just the sports department. So after 10 years, if you want some figures, I can give it to you.
Go ahead.
When you give to the community, you have to give back inside back the company, and you spend more than 1.5 million to reimburse every year.
$1.5 million of Ghana cedis.
the debt that is been accumulate.
I see.
But yeah, maintenance of the pitch, paying of the salary. Do you understand? You cannot run something generator, light. There's a whole lot of things. You have also I have invested quite a lot of money to create the synthetic that you were talking about. So that's why nobody comes into that sort of service entertainment for kids here, because it's not profitable really. So the businessman, when they have a land, they prefer to do estate, sell the houses, and make a lot of money. It was not my case. I've been lucky after my football that I've earned a little bit of money, and I was a little bit at peace. So I decided to take from my own capital to start the investment. But when it's not profitable and it takes all my time, I decided after 10 years that it was the time to move to something else. And I've done well, because I've moved before COVID. So it was really an opportunity for me to dispose my asset and allow someone else to do whatever he wants and enjoy the facility.
If you just joined us, we're here live with the man Marcel Desailly, a legend of the game and a man of Ghanaian skin, sharing his story, his experience right here on the Joy Sports Link, on all of our channels, on Joy Prime, on Joy News, and also on Joy997FM on YouTube. Well, you can keep your messages coming in as we go along. I'm sure that there are loads of questions to come out. We're going to be going into that in a bit as well. Now, so talk about this Ghana job and your interest in it. I remember very well that in my last, in fact, it was my first major interview with you. It was almost 15 years ago at your Trasacco residence. We spoke about this. I know that things have changed now. A lot of water has gone under the bridge, but
Everything have changed.
everything has changed. What's your mindset when it comes to possibly one day getting into coaching and leading Ghana's national team? Is this something that you will
It's
consider one day?
not going to happen anymore. My time have passed.
Okay.
I really had the opportunity with Kwesi Nantechi at the time. But like I said, I was building up, the Lizzie Sports and having, a real desire to have my coaching badges at the same time. It was a little bit too early. The timing was not good. The generation was good at the time when they proposed to me to take the job, and when they came a second time, I also identify the generation that we're having down for me to be able to perform.
Okay.
On top of the problem that I was having with the administration. At the time, Kwesi was doing okay after, he fell on making mistakes. But it's quite complicated, the structure of the FA, the board, all the people who come and interfere. I'm somebody quite strict, and a little bit organized. So you cannot really fool around with me. Once you give me the position, I will tell you one example. If the sports minister wants to enter my dressing room before the match, I will block him. Because he has nothing to do in my dressing room to tell what to my players. Come on, guys, we are counting on you. It's not possible. You cannot come. You stay in your position and I deliver. If I don't deliver, you sack me. So it's something on ego that we have in the system that is very difficult to change. When the board is telling me we are not going to spend for the players to have a 3-star hotel at least with the air condition inside before a crucial game, I don't accept it. You understand?
Yeah.
When my top players are coming from Europe and they bring them into Ghana with 7 hours of flight and they sit in economy class on representing Ghana for an important match where football is vital for the community and the energy that it brings into the community. You bring them into economy class with transit with 3 different countries before they reach Ghana in bad condition, obviously, because it's little addition of details that makes me think that, Marcel, the tools are not there. I have my own expertise and my motivation. I don't know if it will work, but the tools that they are giving me to try and go and perform on ground is not enough. So this is also one of the reasons why the system is still a little bit too complicated. So now Kurt and Jamil, who are my friends, who are inside the system, are trying, to upgrade the general idea, but it's too late for me. It's too late for me. I've moved on to other objective and desire.
Have you monitored what's been happening in the, have you monitored what's been happening in the, on our local scene from afar?
They are trying. I mean, I talk about Jamil, who is one of the marketing. It's like a chain. You need to organize the interest. I like the idea of what they say, bringing back love, into the stadiums. It's good. It's a good idea. You need to bring back the people into the stadiums. The local matches have to be followed by our local people to bring more crowd, to bring more interest about the sponsors. Once the sponsors come and the crowd, the broadcast comes also, you generate a little bit more money. You try and structure also each club to make sure they respect the players, the payments. They have also facilities. So it's a whole lot of work for us to be able to develop, our local football, because it's key. It's key. We have a hard work to do because all the players also are leaving the country too early because they are attracted by interest, by money. So if you structure very well your league, you are able to keep some of the players and develop them on ground to make sure they are ready to go abroad and now start to perform. We are very poor in African football on talent. Today, tell me who is the African top players who are been from Ghana or from Africa, 20 years going to Europe and perform straight away. You would talk about Sané, Liverpool, Salah, okay. What time did he come in? Aubameyang have grown up in Europe. The brothers Ayew have grown up in Europe for the academy. There's few real African who have grown up done all the academy level in Africa, who have succeeded in European football. It's too small compared to the billion of people that we are. Is too small.
So it obviously is a problem that we have to take the blame for.
Oh, it's coming from far. We need
So
hours.
many other factors.
So many other factors. FIFA, I'm one of the FIFA, ambassador.
Sure.
I've been trying to bring money into the system to create infrastructure. FIFA every year wins around 4 billions of euro direct profit towards the World Cup. So they are now trying to diffuse a little bit to all the countries to create more infrastructure and bring to Africa, a better way to have more players into the system.
Interesting stuff there. So there's a lot to discuss today, and you're live on the Joy Sports Link, and it's good to have all of you on board. Very shortly, we'll be sharing some of your messages, but remember, we're also on all of our other digital channels on Joy997FM on YouTube. So greetings to all of our friends who are joining us from various parts of the world as we celebrate this great legend, Marcel Desailly, winner of the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France. So you've done a bit of monitoring. You've seen a bit of what has been going on here in our local scene. Moving it forward. Has anybody ever, called you up to go see a local game in the local league? Have you had time?
Oh no, I didn't. I saw last time they were
We have to
very
make
strong.
sure. I need to speak to your PA so that they structure your time such that you can watch Hearts versus Kotoko at least.
Yes. I don't know why. At the time when I was coming in the first time in Ghana when I was 19, Ashanti Kotoko was my my team
club.
who touched my heart. I don't know why or how, but I was loving the probably 1999. Yeah, I was loving the celebration and the craziness that was bringing this sort of match and lots of controversy. But like I said, we really need to build up our local football. So like I said before, it brings a lot of different implications: sponsors, broadcast, infrastructure, so stadiums. The clubs have to respect their contract. So I hope they are working hard. Kurt is quite working hard on it to bring back the interest into the local football because we love it. We want to support our guys. It's a real opportunity for them to express themselves locally and having the hope to go outside afterwards. Yes, because they bring in return a lot of energy. When you have some boys who succeed abroad, then they are bringing the energy back all the time.
Let's also talk about infrastructure a little more before we move on to other things. I remember very well that we had a conversation in Johannesburg almost a decade ago, and you were telling me about your passion for more infrastructure and to develop more other spaces similar to what you had done at Lizzie Sports Complex. For instance, you expressed interest in the Elwak Stadium.
Oh, well done. You know about that, yes. So at the time when I had Lizzie Sport, I said, because also it was a successful story, I think. Even though I was putting every year some money inside the system, I was saying to myself, you have to multiply the facility to potentially have more access to the community and eventually, not gaining, but at least, try to reimburse yourself on the investment that has been done. So yes, I've been trying to take, Elwak Stadium, yes. It's been a hell for me to find out who does he belong to from the military side and other administration side. I would really face a lot of difficulty to try and take the place, not to take it for myself, considering the military who are using the facility. I don't know, they are using it 8 times a year, for official need. And but the guys are not willing to open up. We are corrupt. I have to say the truth. Indirectly, I have to say the truth. We have to be more open. We have to understand and have the bigger picture, you see. So a guy like me who comes and show interest on something, you have to make sure you have access to the correct information to be able to deliver and bring something back, to our community. And they will benefit indirectly. But they just think about the moment that eventually they will get something out of it in the discussion that you are making with them. It's awful. Honestly, it's really awful. So
And you face this challenge at every single step as you try to get to speak to people, to get to know more.
So I was having the model. For me, LWAC was in need of creating some commercial spaces around, same as what I've done at Lazy. And you reorganize the sports facility because there is handball, basketball. You could create also a pool and
There was athletics. There was
through the track all around it.
Yeah.
You could also create the gym, same as what I've done at Lazy, to also bring income to be able to maintain the sports facility. So it did not happen. So what I've done, I went after to aviation. And I face the same thing. It belongs to aviation fully. They have their rules, they have their need, I understand it, but they were not open. And they did not open up really to me to really sit down, spend money with architect, spend money with expertise, with my contractors and everything to be able to present something out of it. So it's very, very painful. It's gone now. Don't ask me if I'm motivated anymore. This one, it's once and for all finish. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I could have really bring the sports idea into the Ghanaian system at a very high level because I think there were no any lazy sports in West Africa. I'm not sure someone have developed the concept in the way I've put in into the ground. So after aviation, I try and do the children's park. You see that area opposite Kepinski?
Yeah, sure.
It belongs to 3 different state departments, and
Okay.
the mayor also have his words on it and his hands on it.
The mayor of Accra.
The mayor of Accra also.
I see.
So,
So 3 different state departments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So hell again, because every state lie that they hold the power over the. That's why there's nothing on it at the moment. You know, there is either some technical issue out of it. So yeah, I'm sad because we are going into development, yes, on estate, on business, yes, but recreation, sports facility. We need you work on events all the time. You see how people are happy to have facility to be able to do funeral, to wedding, birthday party, or whatever it requires. But Children's Park was an amazing site. You could have done everything up there, from the park, from the entertainment, from the sport, from the whatever, you could do everything. It's a shame.
Big revelations here on the Joy Sports Link, and you can only get it on this platform. Time with the legend Marcel Desailly, speaking about his interest in developing infrastructure, which exactly did not go well because of the bottlenecks.
Allow me to say that to bring a little bit, because people will try and identify under which government it was. So I will not tell the year and when and how.
Okay.
It's
It happened.
it has happened.
Okay.
Point.
Okay. Well, it did happen. So we'll be sharing some of your messages as I promised, and of course we've also been joined in the studio by a legendary broadcaster and a lecturer in communication studies. He has followed the career of Marcel Desailly a great deal, and he'll be telling us his fondest memories and bringing certain key days and moments in seeing Marcel Desailly on the football pitch and maybe outside of it. All of it is here on this special edition with the legend. Now, let's roll back to your journey to greatness in the sport of football. You've won everything that there is to win when it comes to football.
No.
When well, basically you've won everything, every major trophy that any.
Didn't won the Premier League. Didn't won the club Winners' Cup.
Well, you won other versions of the Premier League.
I won the Euro. Yeah.
You won the Euro. Yeah. So you won the Euro, you won the FIFA World Cup, you won the Confederation Cup, you won the UEFA Champions League. So what else do you feel that maybe you should have won as well?
No, I am at peace. I'm joking a little bit. Yeah. I've been at the correct place. Yeah. So no, it's been an adventure, an amazing adventure. Honestly, um, nothing really by luck, because every time I've been able to be at the correct place by a choice. You see, apart from maybe my move from Marseille to AC Milan, probably really the luck now have played his role, where Marseille was really having a lot of depth, and Milan said, okay, let's take this young player into our system. Normally he's not supposed to be in AC Milan, but let's take him because we've seen that he has a little potential. I was 23 years old and a half, 24. So they bought me. This is the only moment where luck have really played a role in my football career.
So there is luck in these movements, because we sometimes see let me give you an example of a player like Radamel Falcao. Radamel Falcao was doing so well in the French league, doing marvelously well. I mean, he was a playmaker, match day in, match day out. You could see him do something amazing on the pitch, and then he did the switch from Monaco to the English Premier League, and then we saw him just drop. Now you compare it to a story of our very own Michael Essien, who played at Olympique Lyonnais, went all the way to the top, became a major force within the
Wow,
team,
yes.
and then switched to Chelsea, and then he took it from there and pushed upwards. So there also is an element of luck when you are doing these switches from club to club.
Not really, because when you choose the club, you know exactly the philosophy of the coach, and if you are going to have your chance to play, in the 11, the first choice of the coach. Falcao got an injury also, who did not allow him really to express himself at the top level. But I will take my example. My family wanted me to sign for Monte Carlo from Nantes to another club. And Monte Carlo was the top club where I was sure to get my salary and my everything. And I said, no, I want to go to Marseille, because I am someone who needs to be motivated by the fans and motivated by the pressure. I need the pressure. I need the pressure to express myself.
So it means that the money was always like a third consideration, not something major for
A
you.
second consideration, yes. For me, Monte Carlo was for sure the money, cool, good life, and everything. Marseille was quite a risk. But I did not see it like that. I decided really to go for Marseille, and it has paid. Remember, it's a perception for the people from outside that the money, it's the first thing at front. Yes, we are all businessmen, and obviously, when you do business, is the first thing that you think is how much you are going to gain out of the deal that you are trying to put into the system. Football is not the same. When you think about the money first, you lose all the time, and people have to change their perception around it. There is a business into football, but it's not the first thing that you see in the front. As a player, you don't see it like that. So the luck, there's no luck. When I was 12 years old or 13 years old, I went to the academy to work away from my parents, away from the weekends where my friends was enjoying while I was inside the camp. So I don't have luck. I was good, but I went for something specific for me to perform and succeed into this football world. You see, after I become a professional in Nantes, where is the luck? There's no luck. I play hard. I was having 2-3 different player who was good as me, so I managed, to make my way in, to be able to be the first choice. So no luck. You change club, and you force the club to sell you because they want to keep you. So there's no, you understand?
Yeah.
People all the time as for footballers, they are lucky. The perception is bad, really bad. You have to change it. And about the money issue also, it's not like the people think. You see?
Talk about the money. In the last 72 hours, we've had to have a major conversation about money and what it can do, and sometimes the kinds of inconveniences it can create, and sometimes the kind of comfort it can also bring. Lionel Messi is gone from Barcelona. We thought it was never going to happen. It has happened. Money was one of the considerations.
Not yet. Wait a little bit. Maybe he will accept, a salary cut and come back.
All right. So Michael Essien tweeted earlier that he could never believe that Essien could. That Lionel Messi could leave. So you're one of the people who believe that, Messi could return. could make another consideration?
Yeah, he could because he will be the hero, you know. Instead of having a deal of 60 million per year over over 2 seasons, but paid over 5 seasons, then he could really take a strong cut on his salary
And get
get
everything
a
real time.
15 million yearly salary to eventually stay at the club eventually, or 10 or 15 million yearly spread into 10 years to eventually allow the club to sign him again. But actually, they are talking with PSG where it's depending on the sheikh. If he decide that he wants to take him, then the 50 million yearly that they are supposed to give him will not make him scared because the Qatari really have the money. So we are just waiting to see how things are going to move.
And you have tasted the football in that region of the world, you know, the Qatari within the Gulf region,
Yes.
and those towards the end of your career. Now, if this should happen, then that obviously is going to bring a big spark in the French Ligue 1. And the French Ligue 1, for many people, is something that people, you know, that there are days when it's described as the league that's not so big. not
It's
so.
good, it's
What's
good league.
what's your take on that?
My take is that Mbappe will have to leave. They will try and sell him to Real Madrid, so he will make.
That
his
is if
move.
Messi is coming in.
If Messi is coming in, yeah, it's obvious because they cannot leave Mbappe on a free transfer from next season. You know, he's on a free transfer
Sure.
if he stays, you know, the beginning of the season. So honestly, I will be very pleased to see Messi changing club to bring, you know, his expertise, his fame, and raise the business of the football. You know, Messi coming in, bring sponsors, bring attention, bring interest, you know, over the league that he's going to play. So I also want the people to reduce the interest over the millions that are coming into football, because they have to understand that it's a business by himself. You never talk too much about the business of the actors, the business of the boxers, Floyd Mayweather. You know, you accept it for the other sports, golf, tennis. You know, when you know that Federer is also earning around 100 and 150 million yearly, you know, through his every season.
Floyd is able to make 300 million in 1 hour.
You see, so you have the golfers. So just the perception and how we identify the luck of these people into the business that they are making, we should understand that it's a business by himself, and to get there, it requires a lot. So it's for them, and if it's there is a reason for it. You see?
If you get on the official Twitter handle of Joy Sports, we've tweeted that outgoing Barcelona star will have a final news conference at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And that is where he will be expected to say his last goodbyes to the fans. So it's gradually unfolding before us. There is still talk about how he could possibly take a U-turn. We've seen him take a U-turn on
Yes.
Argentina. Argentina, eventually he won the Copa America.
Copa America, yeah. We're very pleased. Finally, he will never be like Diego Armando Maradona, who won the World Cup in '86. But he's very close. He's been an amazing player for the past 15 years. What a consistency. So whatever happens, we are just happy. Me, I'm happy to see him moving, you know, out of, you know, Spain to try and experience new football, new culture, and diffuse, you know, the image is so strong. The business behind Messi is so big that wherever he goes, I would love to see him going to America, but it looks like the business model in America is not yet ready to get a player like Messi. So because we need to promote football, needs to continue to grow. You know, we are just at on the halfway of the growth of where football can be. India is not interested yet about football. 1.5 billion people. China are starting, but yet the culture of sport is not only football. It's not yet football. So when they come into the system, it will be amazing. America. So you have around, let's say, almost 3 billions of people potentially who could come into the, you know, the dynamic of the football and raise the interest of our sport and raise the business. So coming back at what I was saying before, if we are talking about Neymar 35 million yearly, Messi 50 million yearly, Mbappe 25 million yearly net. In the 10 years coming, there will be probably double of those wages that will come according to how football continue to develop. So that's why we should start to redraw the bad mind that we have over the soccer players who are earning part of the cake.
Talking about soccer players who are earning part of the cake and big business, I'm reminded of this idea of the Super League. Um, Big clubs came together. They said they wanted to play their own version of a league that would get them to earn outrageously high amounts of money, and they were going to control a lot of revenue and all of that. Um, the threat still lurks around. I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
No, the president of UEFA have been very clear. He has a
Alexander
businessman.
Cheferin, yeah.
Cheferin, yeah. He has been very clear and he has, put a very strong statement. Let's say that it was fair enough for Juventus, Real Madrid to eventually try. They knew and they know that they are the one who, drag the interest of the football. So they've tried and bring all the big clubs, around them, Liverpool, Barcelona, PSG eventually who was not really willing to come inside the system. So it was just a trial to eventually behind the scenes try and negotiate and have, bigger fee, towards the performance of their team in the Champions League. So they knew from the start that it was not going to work deeply, but at least it has created some wave where they could grab, some fish out of it. So, but we are happy because football have won for the fans. It's not fair that only the top gain and have access to that competition. You see over the years how the Champions League is good to watch, how we are enjoying our quarterfinal, semi-final and finals. Amazing. The past 4 Champions League has been absolutely amazing through the controversy, through the intensity of the matches and the tactical side of it. Amazing, just amazing. So there is no reason to change it.
Well, you're still here on this big conversation. Time with Marcel Desailly, the winner of the 1998 FIFA World Cup, right here on the Joy Sports Link. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and it's good to be in your company. Well, we'll be talking about his exploits with the French national team, which got him to rise to the highest possible height when it comes to silverware in football. And would also, take the thoughts of the legendary Carl Tufo on his greatest memories of this fine gentleman there at the back, where he's been rated amongst the best defensive midfielders, the best, defenders in the history of football. But let's take a look at some of the messages that are coming through on our WhatsApp console, buzzing with so many messages. Let me begin with my brother Charles Benonioka. He says, Nat, my heart bleeds hearing that a national hero and an independent-minded legend with money wants to transform the defunct and ailing Elwak Stadium into a world-class facility, and we are putting impediments in his way. You see what he did for Lizzie. Ask him personally to petition the president with his plan, and I trust they will order for the request to be granted. Those denying our legend must bow their heads in shame. They lack vision. I wish my man well and not to give up. Thank you very much, Charles Benoni Okine, for that message. This one is from Kojo in Medina. And Kojo says, Nat, how are you? Thank you very much for asking. I'm great. Happy to be here with your legend in the studio. But Nat, about the Olympics team, we have to bow our heads down. As a matter of fact, how can you go to a tournament with 12 participants and 30 officials on the same trip and be happy with a third place ranked medal? Even their budget is not approved, but you go and fly 30 officials on the same trip? Come on, Nathaniel, that's a big no. This is Kojo from Medina. And then another one says, wow, this man, if he had the chance to coach the Black Stars, how can't we win the AFCON? He's just making my afternoon. And I think Messi will leave Barca despite the current news in Spain. But, well, anything can happen. Thank you very much, Kojo in Medina. Kojo, let me place something in context here. Now, every time countries are participating in an event put together by the International Olympic Committee, there is something called the Team Calculation Index, TSI. And this is determined by the IOC based on the size of your team, the variety you have in terms of which disciplines you are taking part in, and then based on that, they give you a certain quota. Now, let's also be minded and take very big note that certain persons on that trip are taken care of fully by the International Olympic Committee, and they include our president, Ben Nunu Mensah, and his general secretary, Mr. Lawyer Mohammed Sanoun. Let's also remember that we went in there with more than one discipline. We went in there with quite a number of disciplines, which are technical areas, specific technical areas that are unique in their own sense. So, for instance, you cannot have a football coach go to train a boxing team. So we had a judoka in there, we had a weightlifter in there, we had swimmers in there, we had boxers in there, and we had track and field athletes in there. So all of these needed to have their respective set of officials. And I hear talk about the sports minister and all of that. Well, I'm not the PRO of the sports ministry, but I just want to place this on record based on our understanding on how things work so that everybody can understand this. Let's remember that at these events as well, presidents and officials of respective sporting federations and representatives of governments come together to have meetings, strategic meetings, and the event of the Olympic Games is used as a platform for them to have these meetings. I have witnessed some of it for myself. If not for anything at all, I've seen that happen in volleyball and in cricket, where the period of a tournament is used as a period where meetings are held to plan for the sport in a specific region or globally. Major decisions are also taken. So this is for your information. Let me just quickly go back to Joseph in Community 9 in Tema. Good afternoon. Now, great discussions. Please ask for me. When we talk about most sporting disciplines, the black guys perform fantastic, helping those countries on the on other continents. But in Africa, we are struggling to perform. Why? Okay. This is from Joseph, Community 9 in Tema. Let's do some more messages here, and then after that, we'll come back to have a conversation about, Desailly's time in the French national team. Okay, before we do that, however, let's have some thoughts from Mr. Carl the Truth Tufo. Great to have you here, and I must say it was a great delight always watching you on broadcasts on the AFCON and the FIFA World Cup with the national broadcaster. In recent times, you host Sunday Night Live on the national broadcaster. But it's great to have you here.
I've actually been doing the Olympics for them.
Yeah, sure.
I've been leaving here a tad early. They only gave me a grace period to come here.
Yeah. What are some of the key moments for you when it comes to Marcel Desailly?
The first one was 1993.
Tell me about it.
That was the Champions League final between Marseille and AC Milan. Yes, he didn't score, but God damn it, he played a very good game. And then he played 6 months for Marseille, and then there was the problem, the bribery and everything. And that's why I do not agree with him when he says luck. Once AC Milan had seen and we knew who he was, with all due respect to those out there, it wasn't luck. They wanted him. And it culminated in what I will call his greatest goal ever. Do you remember that goal against the following year, 94, when they walloped...
it was one of about 4 goals.
They walloped Barcelona 4-0.
Yeah.
4-0. And his own was a curling... What was a defensive midfielder doing in that box?
Exactly the question.
And he curled it round.
Yeah.
Obviously, 96 was a major disappointment because they were one of the favorites for the Euros in England. That's the first time this song came out. It's coming home, it's coming home, and whatnot. That's the first time it came out because they meant that the tournament was now being hosted in England 30 years. But they peaked at the right time, which was 98. And even though he had a red card, who would care? For a certain length of time, for me, it was the fact that he kept Ronaldo quiet. He kept him quiet. And at that time, he was not a defensive midfielder. He has always been, to me, one of the greatest centre-backs we've seen.
Wow.
And I was asked, and I've been asked consistently by many people, you pick your greatest French team of all time. By God's grace, I'm slightly older than Marcel. So I've seen players And I've always maintained that. The 98 squad, you'd get about 4 or 5 of them, for which he would pair in the middle, not with Laurent Blanc, but with Mario Stressor. Remember him?
Oh, Maurice
Very
Trésor,
good.
Yes.
He would pair him at the back. Lilian Thuram would play on the right. And see, you said he won everything. And he says what? The Premier League. With all due respect, Marcel, at that time, Serie A was much more important and much bigger than the Premier League. Okay? So he won it.
Yeah.
He won it. And he was there for 4 years, and he even played with George Weah. It was in 98 that he moved over to Chelsea at the age of 30. Now he's lived his life. There's so many things I can talk about this guy, and he's become a very good friend. And can I brag a little bit?
Go ahead.
I'm one of the few Ghanaians who has held the World Cup. Because in 1999, he came down with he and the French embassy. They bought, remember that one at the French ambassador's residence? And they bought the World Cup. And at that time, well, there were not that many radio stations. So Joy was invited there.
It's true.
Oh, my goodness. But
But
since
Weah was there, Abedi was there. We brought Roger Miller.
Roger Miller,
at the time, yeah.
Ibrahima Bakayoko,
Yes.
this Cameroonian goalkeeper, John Antoine Bell. It was massive.
And I would like to also send big shouts to Osei Usubempa, who was also a part of the commentary team, the GTV Canal Plus team, in his 1999 ceremonial game between the Black Stars and the World 11 at the Accra Stadium to celebrate the World Cup victory. He also has a picture. With the World Cup here. So big salutes to you. As for the World Cup, the closest I've gotten to it is to, take a photo with it in a glass.
But the good thing is that for him, I think all Ghanaians should thank his mum for not totally cutting him off from Ghana. Because we've seen people who left this country, took their children with them, and totally forgot about Ghana. The good thing is that his mother, Lizzie, and I knew her quite well before she passed, she had decided that no matter what, she was a Ghanaian, and so even if Marcel is a French, which he is, she was not going to let him not know his history and where she came from. And for me, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
This
Amen.
is what we need.
Thank
This
you,
is what
Mommy.
we need for many of those, sorry to say, Africans, in quote here, in the diaspora. Those, yes, they were born there, they grew up there, but go check your heritage. Have you not noticed that they call themselves Polish Americans? They call themselves Italo Americans? They call themselves Irish Americans? So why can't we say Ghanaian American? Why can't we say Ghanaian British? Why can't we say Ghanaian French? And that's what the man who's sitting by you really is.
Great stuff there. Carl Tufor also sharing moments with us here as we celebrate the legendary Marcel Desailly. A lot to discuss. I struggle to
But I
note.
just
Yeah.
want to say something
Sure.
on top of what Carl said.
Sure.
From my side, people all the time tell me, but why did you choose France over Ghana, as a national team? So I never had the choice. When you grow up in Europe, on the 15, I was in the national team. On the 17, I was in the French national team. On the 19, I was in the French. On the 21, I was under the French national team. Nobody have identified me at the time from Ghana to come and play for me to make a choice. You see, I was already in the system. I got professional, from 18, 19, and I got my opportunity to be into the French national team. So there's not been any choice. I was there in that system at the time. Point.
There's also the fact that, guys, it needed somebody to open his eyes. If, for instance, he had heard about Desailly out there. Because we heard about his brother, the late Seth.
Oh, yes.
We heard about Seth. But Seth passed on early. Who thought about him? By the time Bucket Caesar came down in 1990 and started bringing Ghanaians in quote, but Ghanaian British, Ghanaian Germans, whatnot, to come and play for us, a.k.a. Tony Baffo. He had already been capped. And remember that at that time, the rule wasn't friendly or non-friendly. If you had played once for a country, that was it.
That was it. Yeah. Our listeners are, look, buzzing with loads and loads of messages. This one from Hot Ice Masupa says he wants to know why you did not apply for the French national team job when it became vacant, and why, you rather were considering the Ghana job as against that one. You possibly coaching Le Bleu.
Les Bleus at
Yeah.
the time, no, I never had any proposal over this. No, I was also living in Ghana, so all the connection and whatever is required to have access to a position was not in. So I was in Ghana. The opportunity came from Kwesi Nantechi at the time. Can we still mention his name?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Something is going
absolutely.
to happen to me.
Absolutely, you can mention his
Absolutely?
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, there's no connection with the French at the time, and I did not really show up. It was really man to man to try and grab my expertise.
And talk about the whole, drama that happened with Kwesi Nyantechi. I mean, from where you sit, what do you think about it?
Oh, there's a cut, but it's a shame because he fell from very high. I mean, he was also one of the board member of the FIFA, so and the CAF at the same time. So we were expecting him, to show us the way and also use his position to bring Ghana to another level. So unfortunately, he has made his mistake. He's been approved by the court, or I don't know. Is it confirmed that officially or not really?
Well, so it's a case that is still being
It's still a case
pursued
okay,
in court.
but he's out anyway and can never come back. He has done what he 2006 he came into the system, so maybe he has stayed too long, same as the president of the CAF. His name is Isayatu. I've
And
stayed
even
too
Sepp
long.
Blatter himself.
Probably said Blatter also. All this generation, all these times, you can have only 2 mandate and you should move.
What for you would be the ideal time when you have an opportunity to lead an organization like UEFA, CAF, FIFA? What for you would be the ideal time within which you feel one can deliver and get their hands off and go?
I did not understand too much your question, but I will say, sorry, it's for my English, but I will say that today for me, the only ambition that I have is eventually to join FIFA. FIFA have an African department, which, they, like we were saying, they try and invest, in Africa and create more sports infrastructure and deliver the dynamic of what football requires. This is today the only thing that I'm working on it to try and get the position, because I know I will have the tools. I know the money is behind it also. Once you identify the problems, we are not talking about especially Ghana only, but the whole Africa, 100 and how many? 148 countries, probably 38 countries.
Africa, 52. 52 countries in Africa.
Yeah.
52
Federations.
Yeah, 52 countries. Whether they have federations is what I'm not, but there are 52
Okay, 50.
countries.
Okay. So you see, so this is the interest, because there is the CONCACAF also included inside. So that's why the numbers is bigger. But this is my real interest today to try and give my expertise inside the system.
Let's talk about your former club, Chelsea. Obviously, they have made a massive achievement in the last season. Thomas Tuchel leaving, is it Tuchel?
Tuchel.
Tuchel.
Yeah,
Tuchel.
as you
Tuchel.
want. Yeah.
Thank you. So he was there in the French Liga, did what he had to do, switched to the English Premier League, and pushed the guys. They went and won the Champions League.
Very good coach. When Paris identified him, at the time, he was at Dortmund.
Yep.
Dortmund. He was really the good man of the situation, but Paris was difficult for him. Too many, top players into the system where you have to consider their mood of the day and everything. So he has done well. I'm sad for Frank Lampard. Very sad, because he was, at the beginning of an eventual career. And it is going to be difficult for him to get a return, because he has made some basic mistakes that Tuchel did not make. He came inside, he handled his players. Don't hesitate to change the complete tactical setup of the system. Put a lot of concurrence. You understand concurrence between the players. Even N'Golo Kante, who is a top player now at the end of the season, has been on the bench during the season of Chelsea. So he has done amazing on management. You know, when you talk about management, really. Luck was there also a little bit, I would say, but pleased, very pleased, because there is a future. There is a group in Chelsea today that can, you know, for the next 2-3 seasons perform. They've spent over, I don't know, 150 million plus, you know, to buy the Werner and all the other players. So I'm very pleased about what's going on in Chelsea. I mean, I know personally the owner, who is passionate about football. I was the captain of the club at the time when he bought Chelsea 2004. And I love him because he said to me, you know, we are talking about a billionaire man who can afford anything. And he told me sport is his reason of life. The adrenaline that sport generates, you know, when there is a winning match, or you know, you lose, or you about to try and understand if you are going to qualify for Champions League or whatever, that adrenaline for him is unique, and that's why he praised sport and he loves the sport. So I'm happy for him. He has spent more than 2 billion over the past 12 or 15 years. So I'm happy to see Chelsea at that level.
Well, we'll talk a bit about the national team now. You made the biggest achievements with the French national team, Le Bleu. You know, in the last, 6 years, you know, the current national team have won the FIFA World Cup. They've gotten to a certain stage as well when it comes to, you know, the Euros. How disappointed were you when they didn't make it into the final space?
But it's a global picture. The Euro have really shown us that in the modern football, it looks like the position, tactical position that the coaches are taking will determine if your team will perform or not.
Okay.
As for France, the coach made a mistake. He changed his tactical setup, thinking that it was going to help the team, but he has completely disorganized the team with talented players. France was the best, probably, in this Euro. Yes. But once the tactical setup is not correct and you are distracted by, you know, the intensity of how the opponent is also playing, because the Swiss played very well, then you pay. You get out of the competition. So, yes, the potential was there, but too many mistakes.
I see.
You didn't see it that way?
Well,
So I've loved the Euro because you could see how important tactically, you know, the coaches have, you know, used that tools to make their team to either perform or to be completely disorganized and lose their ability.
you worked as a pundit. I mean, this is something that you have done. You know, you've done this with many other networks. You've worked with the BBC, you've worked with ITV, you've worked with so many
you
of them.
follow, okay. BBC, ITV, Super Sport, Canal Plus, and now Bein Sport. Yes.
Bein Sport, yeah. Tell me about the experience. You've played the game, and now you have to sit back and do postmortems of what is done and all of that. There's a lot of criticism that's sometimes laid at your doorsteps, especially for those of you who may not have exactly gone into full-time coaching or, you know.
So there's two aspects of it. You say, Coach, I have my pro license.
Of course, but
okay.
I mean practicing it, you know, fully and, you know,
I went into punditry for two reasons.
Okay.
To at least give my expertise, because I have a small expertise on how is the player
You have
in
big expertise. You're always trying to
how the player.
Hold on. I mean, you know, Marcel is always trying to be very modest about his achievements. Hey, people, I mean, I've interviewed only 2 World Cup winners on the Joy Sports link since I started working here over a decade ago, okay? You know, I had the privilege of speaking to his teammate, Robert Pires, and now I'm speaking to him. How many times do you get to speak to a FIFA World Cup winner? I mean, what can you possibly say to him about making achievements in football? Hey, I mean, you've done it, so we need to celebrate it. Let's go ahead.
Bring my expertise into
the big expertise.
My big expertise, you know, for the fans who watch the match and everything is good for them to know, and I can identify the key moment and what the player at that particular moment is thinking, and how come the psychological side of a player is important to bring the good dynamic for the collective. So those things is one of the first reasons. And the second reason is a bit something selfish, where after football, I miss the adrenaline, of coming inside a full stadium. You see, both of you are personality. You know when you're on air and you bring your expertise and you know that the people are listening to you. You know that your heart beats a little bit. You know that particular moment where they say 3, 2, 1, 0. We are on air.
Yeah.
I love that moment. I love it because it's similar to what you experience into football when you enter a football stadium, a 60,000, similar I say that, 60,000 people who know where all the eyes are on you. So it's the two different reasons. And I wanted to understand a little bit from a journalist perspective. I'm not a new journalist, obviously. It requires a lot of, different
Training,
capability, yes. But I wanted to really understand. I've been in the game, having journalists coming to me, asking me good questions, silly questions.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what was they made of. And now I understand the business on the other side, and I'm happy to continue to work for football and for broadcast.
Your calendar is so packed.
Yes, busy because I want to dedicate my time on this after football life to whatever comes in front of me. So yes, I work with Bein Sport in Turkey, in Miami, in Doha, and in Paris. So I have to fly a lot to be able to.
Have you been able to count the number of times you jump on a plane and maybe it's like a year?
I am out. I don't know, over the years probably, but I am out of the country. I don't know, 5 months a year probably. Yeah, 5 months a year to fly around the world and also diffuse. FIFA and UEFA also have a lot of sponsors, who are committed to football. So I also sometimes give my image for them to be able to promote their personal product over the interest that they've shown either on the UEFA, either on the FIFA. So it's also a business, obviously, for me, but at the same time, it's a help for those companies who comes into the system. They need to have, legends like Roberto Carlos, Kaká, Figo. We are all together. We roam around the world also to allow the company to use the dynamic of football to make a better business.
You're doing good business after football. You are making money as well. There are mates of yours, those who have played before you and those after you, who have not so pretty stories to tell when it comes to life after football. What would be what you would say to them in terms of encouragement and in terms of the red flags that we normally would raise for you who's been there and has been able to maintain a certain a certain lifestyle, and all of that?
It's a real challenge for footballers, yes. But the first thing is that when you play football, you should not just concentrate yourself into football. You do business into the football. Your name, your body is an asset. So you have to use it to have endorsement of your asset and be used by other people. So there's a business inside a business. And you get used to be a little bit structured towards that business. I don't know if you get
Exactly,
me. Yeah, you get me with my English? Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine
yeah.
enough. So this have allowed me to be very structured. I know exactly what I wanted to do on my after football. And the big problem is that we spend a lot. I've been earning a lot. But the expenditure, the natural expenditure is very high. So on the after football, the only way to try and survive, I would say it like that. Don't take my words like So to try and survive, you have to drop the 100% that you were earning when you were a soccer player. Will drop suddenly, on the income to 20% towards the interest of the capital. So the only way is to accept that your lifestyle will drop drastically. The only way to come up is to work and identify opportunity. So I said investment is not good. Try and work through what you've built up towards the past 20 years, your image, your expertise, like a consultant, to generate and bring inside the system more money, to be able, from the 20% that my interest over my capital is giving me, to get to at least a 60% of what I was earning before when I was a soccer player on the 100%. I don't know if you still get me. You see? So it's a real challenge. It's not everyone. So, so on the after football, most of the guys, they drop drastically. And if they don't work to bring in back into the system some money, then they cannot move. They are stuck. They are locked. They cannot do anything. They have the name, they have the consideration, but they cannot do anything because nothing is coming back into the system. So you are there, you cannot help the community, you can eventually make your own life a normal life, not at the level, you are depressed, you're not comfortable. So there's quite a whole lot, there's a challenge on the after football that is really clear, that is there for soccer players.
Well, it's time with Marcel Desailly here on all of our channels, and I'd want to take a final word from Carl Tufo before he wraps it up. We want to get into that big tournament in France in 1998. So many wonderful memories. For those millennial friends of mine, I know you were not around. At least I can get to tell you a story about that one. But Carl, we're wrapping up, and I want you to sum it all up for me. The kind of figure and the kind of tower that Marcel Desailly is in terms of helping our young sportsmen and women to create a certain mindset about themselves and push to achieve higher heights.
What he's saying here, there's not much I need to add to Nat. He's opened it up. He's one of the few who played the game, as you use the word, at the highest level, and has transmitted that into punditry that he wants to be a bit shy about. I remember 2006 World Cup, between shuttling between Germany and England. I was in Wales then, between shuttling because I was going to watch the Ghana matches. This gentleman here even had an amazing fight on BBC with Martin O'Neill. When I say fight in quotes.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were, because of that, they used them as regular pundits for the whole tournament. He's transcended that football life into punditry. Some like Gary Neville, some like Andy Gray, unfortunately, because of these, the way the world is now, some of his few words he said off air, which unfortunately were recorded. And that's why he's ended up with Richard Keys at Bein Sport. But the one that really hit me most was his recent interview with Richard Keys. He doesn't know that I'd watched it. Somebody uploaded it somewhere and I downloaded it and I've kept a copy of it. In Doha. Everybody who gets it should listen. The man didn't start from up there. Granted that he was the son of a diplomat. He started from down there and worked his way up. And if an Osu boy can start from down there, daughter of Lizzie, and go up to what he is now, then every single Ghanaian playing the game that he played can do the same.
Amen.
The only thing is that they've got to seek the right advice from those that have made it. And he has done it in football and has done it in punditry. I leave it there.
Thank you very much, Carl Tufo. Carl, the truth Tufo, there with us. And remember, Carl is also featuring in our special editions, which we're bringing you on the Joy News channel, put together by Hans Mensah Andor. And it's called Rewind. The very first edition of Rewind, as the name suggests, is going to focus, and this Rewind idea is focusing on major events in our sporting history in Ghana. And it's beginning with Senegal 92. Oh my goodness, who doesn't love Senegal 92? The Africa Cup of Nations of Senegal 1992. All of the key moments. And of course, you could catch Carl Tufo in there. He's one of the respondents in that big review show, which will be on the Joy News channel later today. It's at 4:30 p.m. and it will be on all of our other channels. So you'd have to make a date with us. It's put together by the man we call International Hans Mensah Andor, who's the host of Fan Zone on the Joy News channel at 10:30 p.m. every weekday. We're still here having time with the legendary Marcel, Desailly. Let's talk about France '98. Personally, as a young boy at the time, I was a student in Richard School at the time.
Oh.
I was living in Ringway Estates with my late dad. And I remember the final day. We'd started. The energy situation was not exactly cool in Ghana at the time, and so we had to go two
On and
lanes
off.
away from our home to go and watch that game. It was a good time to be African and Ghanaian, and a good time to support the French team.
The French team.
Tell me about those key moments that you'd never forget during that tournament, away from the moment when you held the trophy.
But I'll bring the picture a little bit bigger on saying that, France has been eliminated in 1994 for the World Cup in America.
Sure.
Which they were having Jean-Pierre Papin,
Very
Eric
well.
Cantona, all these players. So,
Papin played alongside Abedi at Marseille.
Yes. So you had to kill a generation, and from the failure that France got in '94, a new generation came up with a clever coach who is Aimé Jacquet, who brought us to the Euro '96. He put aside Ginola and all these players that was not, in the group capable to bring the group, to a different level. To give the space to Zinedine Zidane, guys. Zinedine Zidane. So Euro was a good experience. '97 Tournoi de France was also a good experience. For that generation to have the belief and the to be ready collectively, to be all together at the same time at our best. And this is what happened in '98. We were not the best in '98.
You don't
We're not
think
the
that
best.
France was the
No.
best team? So which team do you think was the best?
The Netherlands was
Netherlands,
better
yeah.
than us. The
Patrick Kluivert
Argentinian,
and the guys, yeah.
yeah, what a team! Bergkamp, Kluivert, Edgar Davids, all the top brothers De Boer, and all these players was in the team. Argentina was very good, Gabriele Batistuta.
Yeah, Argentina post Maradona.
Yes. Top. And the Brazilians was also.
So it's meant to say that what?
We had an easy
sometimes-
group.
You had an easy group?
We had an easy group. We
But-
were not
but-
the
but
best,
you-
but we were having an easy
But
group.
you rose to the occasion when it was important.
Yeah.
You beat Brazil in the final. for
Yeah,
crying out
but
loud.
South Africa, South Arabia,
Saudi
and,
Arabia.
and Denmark in our group. So it was okay, when you play sometimes the Euro, you face some tough groups.
Yeah.
So it was okay. Paraguay in the round of 16. Italy in the quarterfinal, which we won on penalty. So,
Paraguay at the time had Jose Luis Chilavert as the goalkeeper.
there, we were
Yeah.
scared. We went on extra time.
And that guy is such a towering figure.
Yes. We knew that if
yeah,
we were
so-
going to penalty, we were going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you played Paraguay, you played Italy.
Yeah.
You beat them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Croatia was also an adventure
Yeah,
in
yeah,
semi-finals because it was the
Davor
top.
Suka and his guys.
Yes. Suka, Prozineski, Zvonimir Boban. I don't know if the old
remember,
generation
yeah,
will
yeah.
remember those players.
Yeah, Boban, yes.
Yeah,
very
Davor
well.
Suka. So yes, it was a trap, a real trap, the semi-final. So we went through because collectively and mentally that group was was very strong. Players coming from different origin. So yes, these have we've stick together really, and the fact that we are playing in France was a real boost. Really the adrenaline when you come out of the stadium.
And God bless his soul at the time, President Jacques Chirac. I remember how he celebrated the last goal. I mean, he forgot all the, the seeming unwritten protocols in the presidential box and stood up and celebrated.
Yeah, because the economy of the fact that France won the World Cup was something huge. Economically, it has bring a positive attitude. People spend. They are happy. Everybody is proud to be France. All the expatriates around the world could say, "Oh, we are French. Oh, you are the World Cup winner. Oh, yeah, it's good. So let's do business." And it has brought something indirectly. Football. Yes, it's football, but it's more than football when you talk about the World Cup. So suddenly winning was giving a real dynamic. And you have to share. The Brazilian won it in '94. 98 could not be for the Brazilian again, knowing that in 2002 they won it afterwards with all these Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Kaká, and many more. So it was French time. So we were not the best in 98, but we made it. We made it for many reasons. And the years after, 99, 2000, 2001, this is where we really show that France was having an amazing group of players, mainly origin from different countries, but the talent was there. The leader that we were was effective for those years. Amazing adventure. I mean, winning the Euro after winning the World Cup was something amazing because you have achieved everything in the football game. It's like you're a World Cup winner, you have it in your left pocket, and you go for the Euro and you win it, to top up your right pocket with the other trophy. The feeling and the impression is just crazy and amazing. So proud of my teammates, and yeah, it's been a crazy adventure, crazy. I just moved also after the World Cup to Chelsea, so I went to an Anglo-Saxon, football culture. So it was also for me a good moment. Winning the Super Cup in between, so it's quite a lot of things that has happened, yeah, and we are happy for the French. They've won, something with this generation. It has lasted too long before another generation came into the system. So 2018, honestly, I was happy. It's not been easy, human being. They almost won it in 2006. I retired 2004, but France almost won the World Cup 2006. And I have to say that I was not that happy. It's like they were going to take something out of my, fame and my own. So I was, I watching the match. Human nature.
I like your honesty.
Yeah, this is true. Human nature. You're not okay. They are still my generation guys. I'm not sure really deep down. But as for 2018, I was really happy because it was the time, the reference of 1998 was too far. Enough. We love this 98 generation, but France was in need of another boost into the system.
So here in Ghana, it means that we then the too far we really have overdone it, because Africa Cup of Nations is almost 40 years?
Yes, 40 years.
It's crazy. It's crazy for us.
So the other way around, when you talk about Africa, this is where again we can talk about it. There's a lot of work to do. How many years? 88 years, I think. 88 years that the World Cup exists.
Yeah. Africa has
None of the African team have reached the semi-final or win the World Cup. We know. You understand? It's crazy. It's crazy. Samoa almost put us into the let's not talk about it in the semi, but otherwise no team have been able to, because like I said before, we need to take everything from the foundation, from our local teams, from the business that it brings to the broadcast, bring back the people into the stadium, have the clubs who has more money, you understand? And it's a link to keep the players longer. Once you keep them longer, they can now be ready to perform abroad. Once they perform abroad, they can come back into their national team in numbers. It's not enough to win a World Cup if you have only 2 top players in your team who have the experience of the highest level. It is not enough. You need 5 and 6. You can see all the teams that have performed. Ghana, 2010. Look, Kevin Prince Boateng. I can mention 7 names that was really high profile that have lead Ghana to a certain level. Same for Cameroon in what year it was. I don't remember anymore. 92 probably. World Cup. Same for Nigeria, also 94. Nigeria also have done well because, their coach Chafinidi and all these players was into the system. So this is the key thing, coming from the foundation where we'll see one day an African country win the World Cup. This is what I want. So I've showed the way. So we are now expecting to see the people who are in the administration to make the money that comes either from FIFA or from government, because government is helping also a lot to make the money effective on ground for infrastructure.
Now, my good friend Fifi Bunsen, a seasoned broadcaster of many years, he's also followed your career greatly. He sends his greetings to you, and he wants to know what was running through your mind when you scored that goal. That goal that Carl Tufo spoke about. It was in the Champions League, right?
Final of Champions League.
Yeah.
Milan versus Barcelona.
Tell us what went through your mind before you struck that ball the way you did.
But it's a package. It's a happiness because Barcelona was a top team. I don't know if people will remember Stoichkov, Romario.
Christo Stoichkov,
Christo Stoichkov, yes. So they were the top players in this team. Just amazing. It's final of Champions League. I am I think I was the best player of the game. So you are the best player of a final of the Champions League. You play in midfield, which is not especially your best position. Yeah, you think I'm on top of the roof of the world, of the football world. I'm there. I've made it. It's amazing, the impact that it was going to bring, and the happiness was just full stadium. Athens, all the Milan fan. I mean, it's unique, this adrenaline. So that's why sometimes people want to praise me, reminds me about, the past days. But I don't want. I want to move. It was so exceptional, so unique on the adrenaline that sometimes I want to forget because otherwise I will go depressed.
And there was another one by Dejan Savicevic.
Dejan Savicevic, yes, Montenegro player, amazing player. Yeah, he scored amazing goal also. Daniele Massaro, Italian player. So yes, unique. I wish I could express how the feeling is good to win a Champions League. We enjoy it when you look at the on TV. You are a Chelsea fan, you watch it, you go crazy. But when you're on the field, it's more than that. It's everything together. It's really unique.
All right, so we'll do the phone calls in a bit, but there are loads and loads of messages we need to do. But there'll be no Joy headline news at 2. So with your permission, I could do just some extra 5 minutes. I know our little man here. What's his name? Your son?
Junior.
Ah, that's Junior. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Marcel Desailly Junior.
Man, Marcel Junior Desailly. Yes,
Wow.
Yes. But before he became Marcel, he's Junior. I'm here. You're not going to pass me. So you are Junior.
Okay. Marcel Junior Desailly. Yeah. Let's talk a bit about, lifestyle stuff. We've known you to be someone who, and for those of you who are joining us on our various television channels, you're somebody who was not known for fancy hairstyles on the pitch and all of that. And now you're in your retirement and we see, a half cornrow. I don't know what the name of this hairstyle is.
I don't know. Yeah, I braid the hair, yes. Because the previous style that I was having was requiring a lot of gel.
Okay.
And my scalp was a bit, hurt. So I decided to change for a change. In 17 years, 17, I'll be 70. So it means that
in the next 17 years, you'll be 70 years old.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's not much before thinking that I'm becoming an old man. So allow me to enjoy whatever I want to do. Don't judge me. Allow me to do it. You understand? I don't joke with my wine also.
Oh, yeah.
You know that I travel around the world. I work hard. But at the same time, I enjoy. You come to my social media, Marcel Desailly Official.
Yeah.
And you see.
Yeah.
But remember that social media brings, the front line of the enjoyment.
Yeah.
But behind it, man, there's a lot of work. I go late, in the bed, not for party. I go because I'm looking at my email and my report and my projection and my visions.
Yeah.
So I combine the two. I want some craziness in my life. Actually, I'm really preparing my retirement. In Ghana.
Okay.
So I have a small project somewhere in Accra that will really brings me that happiness that I'm looking after. I want to be happy. COVID show us that family first, friends and family first. You can see what is happening, in this era. It's been sad. We are lucky in Ghana and in Africa in general that we did not, suffer at the level of what Europe have suffered, or eventually America. But it's been a hard time. And I decided that I was already doing it, but it has comforted me that I need to enjoy, work hard, but enjoy at the same time. For small thing, I all the time say happiness is free. It's not about big money. Someone will send a text, I'm sure. If you look at the tweet or whatever, they will say, yeah, but you, they money. No. It's not about money. And we Africans are the proof that you can be happy, not especially on having money. You see, you can be happy also by making yourself happy. Yeah. And you are, in fact, looking after money because we need it all to survive.
Yeah. Ah, vin, wine,
you know
wine,
now.
wine. Yeah, I know. And he's going to do the trademark laughter. You know, I realized that the French team, I mean, the World Cup winning team, everybody knows how to do it. Well, where did it come from?
The laugh?
Yeah, the laughter.
Yeah,
Where
on
did
my
that one come
social
from?
media.
I saw yourself, Pogba, on the day when they visited President Macron. You know, yourself, Pogba,
Yeah,
and
we
the guys
made
you did that. Where does that laughter
we
come
made
from?
like 6 million of view.
Yeah.
4 million with Pogba. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's my daughter. 2016. My kids are telling me, Papa, you should come on social media.
Okay.
So I said, no, it's not for me. I'm too old. There's no need. But I've been a bit obliged because the brand that was using my image was in need of me being in social media. So I came in like most of the people are doing now. But I said to my daughter, who is into marketing, digital, she told me, and I asked her, how can I come in social media? She came and showed me video that I'm doing for my kids on my private life. You know, when I visit, I go to Uruguay in Montevideo, and I see the famous stadium of the first World Cup. And at the end of each video, I was laughing. So she said, Daddy, do it exactly the same in the public. You will see that at the beginning, people will say, but is he not crazy? What's happening to Marcel Desailly? What is it going on in his mind, this soccer player? Yeah. But aside of it, when someone talks about me, he knows that I'm a serious guy, professional guy, strong guy. And over my football career, there's not been any controversy around me. So I'm not crazy. I'm really a professional man. Then there must be a reason. And the reason is that life is good. Life has to come with a laugh. Laughing is like a medicine. You understand? So this is one of the reasons why I started the laugh into the social media.
I see. And retirement is when exactly?
I retired in 2004.
I mean, you're still planning another phase of retirement.
Yes.
Yeah, you said,
You need to reduce, you know. I'm
where,
lucky.
where, you know, if you're looking for Marseille, for instance, I'm celebrating. I'll be turning 40 sometime
You
soon,
see?
and if I decide to have a party and I want you to attend, oh Nathaniel, sorry, I'm gonna be in Monaco. I'll be in.
No, but I am in the mood of. I am. You allow me to say a little bit successful.
Sure.
Why should I go for more and more? This is a message of all the businessmen who are successful. They want more. They want to expose. They want to brag. They want to continue and make more business. They want only the business adrenaline. There is other thing than business. There is art. There is music. There is wine. There is. When I talk about wine, you can visit the castle that you have over France, over South Africa to discover the dynamic. There is a whole lot of. There is science. There is a whole lot to discover who can bring indirectly the same business adrenaline that you are developing. Reduce your business adrenaline. Stop that. You are already successful. That couple of money that you I want to say millions, but couple of money that you are bringing into the system will not change anything. Your kids doesn't need that. Your kids need education, to have access to education, and they will make their way. Stop telling us that you are building the future for your kids while you have already, you are already a successful man. Try and make yourself in your general culture to be at a different level, you see, for yourself, and spread it over your friends and family. This is the mood that I am into it.
How are the kids doing? Your wife and the kids, they're good?
So I am into a new, wedding. My previous
Congratulations.
kids,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, my previous kids have 30, 27, 24, and many more. Now I have a 7 years old. We have a 5 years old and a young one, a baby one. So no, I'm very pleased.
How many more are you gonna have? So you have what? Let me count. Seven now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You
the
wanna have
wife
more?
is so nice, so focused that it will depend on her. She's the one controlling with God. With God, so you have to be able to do kids because you know you can sustain and you can give them the love and the education aside of it. So no, I would like to now, take to be a bit selfish and think about myself a little bit. That's why I have that project outside of Accra to start and have. There'll be the community is also part of it. You see, on my my new idea
I know
and
that
everything.
place. Yeah. But you haven't invited me over yet. For
It will come. It's
Yeah,
not
with-
yet finished. So,
Yeah.
so this is the mood.
No, you
more or
don't need
less.
to finish. I mean, we are family, so you don't need to finish
Yeah.
before inviting me. We'll talk about that one later on off air.
No, but
Yeah.
But I really want people to change their perception of a sportsman.
Sure.
It's tough to be fit. It's tough to be a successful soccer player over the years. It requires a lot. The diet, the sleeping, the how to handle the stress, how to accept the competition. Please, let's educate ourselves that sports, football, it's something really unique, and it's not because you play in your garden with your child that you are potentially someone who can do the same thing that the pro are doing, on the football field. So I want people to respect a little bit more our people into football.
All right, let's do some messages. Inko Joseph says, congrats to Ben Nunumensa and the entire team for breaking the jinx in boxing at the Olympics, and also ask Marcel Desailly how he feels, whether Ghanaians should concentrate on local coaches for our Black Stars because they are the ones who have won the Nations Cup before. Okay, what's your take on that?
But it's good at the time Kwesi try and have some, with Kwesi Apia and others. He try and use the local coaches. But if you don't have the generation, it's difficult. It's difficult for the local coaches to perform.
Okay. 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. Let's get a few phone calls in there, and then after that we can call it a wrap of a conversation. 0302-216-541. Now, Shem Mixon Yeboah sends this one. He says, always top-notch interviews week in, week out. 2 Jans in your studio. Kaltafo, Marcel Desailly. Please, does Marcel Desailly still have interest to coach the national team of Ghana? Well, he's already answered that. He says that that time is past and gone. All right. So 0302-216-541. Get through to us and let's have the conversation. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good to have you on the Joy Sports Link.
Thank you, Nat. I'm Kwesi Ado, calling from Harcho.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, an interesting and wonderful discussion with a legend. I don't know if it's France legend or Ghana legend, but which anyway,
He's both.
He's one of our own.
Yeah.
I want to ask, he played in Italy, he played in France, he played in England. The mentality of the Italians, the mentality of the French, and the mentality of the English when it comes to football, how they approach football. Which one should Ghana adopt? And yeah, I think that would be my question.
All right.
So I think it's a combination of two of them. I would say the Italian and the England one. England one, fighting spirit, ready for the battle, mentally strong. Where the Italians was more about tactics, cleverness, understanding the opponent, understanding and reading the moment to identify the key moment. It's more in this combination that I see how Ghana can improve and Africa can improve in general.
Thank you. Thank you. 0302-216-541. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Natalia.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Joy Sports.
This is Jacob Eshen calling from Kaswa.
Sure.
Yeah, great. I've enjoyed the discussion. I want us to look at something. One, Nathaniel, this question comes to you. Why haven't you been able to help him to work on the Elwak Sports Stadium and that of the Children's Park? And then the next thing is, from the challenges that he has gone through, what are the likelihood solutions that he will develop going forward so that we develop the country? Because once we keep quiet, the bad will reign over the good. Because how many people have been able to come up with the kind of lazy complex that has been put there? And this person wants to develop Elwak, he could not. So my suggestion is, this Olympic Stadium proposed at Amasaman, it should help. I think, Nathaniel, you'll be in a position to help so that you can take up that one and do it. Amasaman is bigger, and that place is bigger. It was for the inter-school sports that was developing. I'm a PE master. We paid no money, but that Olympic thing could not come on. So if we can take it up, it will be the best for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that message. 0302216541. Let's just quickly get a few more messages as well. And Marcel, we're just receiving information that Lukaku's deal to Chelsea is done, close to done. What are your thoughts?
But he was there already on the Mourinho, so he left.
I mean,
for
return.
United.
Sorry,
It's
the
a
return.
Yes,
the return to Chelsea. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great news because honestly, Werner did not show this great, ability to be, the first choice for Chelsea. So yes, now Chelsea has what was missing, the striker. We had Abraham also, who on the what is his name? My teammate from Chelsea. Tell me the name. Lampard. Yes,
Lampard, yeah.
I find it difficult. Werner, Abraham on the Lampard was doing very well, but no, Lukaku. It's a big hit for Chelsea now. Defensively, they are strong. Play at 3. Maybe he might change at 4. The midfield, very good, very strong. Diversity of players. And now at front, we have, the killer. The one that nobody thought that he could reach this level because he has now a technical sensibility of the ball on the touch. He's strong. He knows how to make his movement. So I'm very, very pleased about it.
Well, thank you all very much. It's been a wonderful conversation. And look, we can just keep going on and on and on and on. And immediately after us, George Quay will be taking over with Showbiz A to Z. George, good to see you.
Good to see you too, my brother. You have a legend in the studio.
Definitely.
Charlie, this is one of the men we looked up to. Watching them play makes soccer so beautiful. Some of the reasons we started following teams globally.
Yeah.
Marcel, it's an honor to have you in the studios of Joy.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Living legend, please, because when you talk about legend, most of the time.
Living legend, that's important. Thanks for the clarity. That's important. And great conversation. Great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So in a bit, George will be taking over with Showbiz A to Z, and it's running all the way up to 6 p.m. We'd like to say a very big thank you to you. Final words as we wrap it up, Marcel.
Final words?
Yeah.
Oh, believe. Hope is there. I mean, I love Africa. I'm here for good. And I'm very pleased about our people. They are honest. We are safe in Ghana, and we just have to have the bigger picture. Please, let's go for the bigger picture because we have the ability to become probably one of the best, African countries.
Well, a conversation with the legendary Marcel Desailly right here on Joy 99.7 FM and all of our other channels. And this conversation is also going to be everywhere, so you can watch it over and over and over and over again. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful sharing your company, and I'd like to say thank you to the whole Joy Sports team for production, especially my sit-in producer, Benaya Elom Dafiamekwa. Thank you so much, and by extension, the rest of the Joy Sports team. And so you'd have to focus and monitor all of our other digital channels as we bring you all the big takeouts from this big conversation with the legendary Marcel Desailly. Something big may just be coming your way from him. Just keep watching this space and we'll see how all of it goes. Well, so Also coming in, Brazil have just defeated Spain to win the Olympic men's gold in football.
Oh, well, very good. So
Congratulations
they have
to them.
talent.
Yeah, sure. So Brazil do it again at the Olympics with football. Thank you so much once again, and we will be back, God willing, with another big conversation next weekend right here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy997 FM. And just before I go, I'd also like to give a very big commendation to the Chief of Defense Staff and the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency Amaka Amatefiu, and the whole team who put together a package to honor the legendary Prince Amate, who won Ghana's Olympic medal in bronze in boxing at the 1972 Games. It was a very big honor done. The old man, who's now very frail. All of it going to serve Mother Ghana. Thank you all very much. I'll be back next week. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.